entrepreneurs, people, consumers, those who are just trying to be better. Your words are so important. Words are valuable. Words have meaning. Words carry life. Words will perform without understanding what you are saying. It will perform based on what you say and not what you mean to say. That's why it's so important to say what you mean and mean what you say. I often I get on people's nerves because I will say, okay, what do you mean by that? Or why do you use it? There are just certain things like catchphrases that I try to stay away from. Like, if it's not one thing, it's another. I try to stay away from that. Generally, when we use that phrase, we're talking about trouble and problems. So I try not to buy into it because while it may feel true, I'm not going to keep saying that and look at everything from that lens. And I'm certainly not going to use those words as if I expect negative and bad things to happen, because expectation is key to what you receive. And I refuse to receive that or think that way. Not only that, not everything that happens to us, even if it's not positive, it may not be negative. It may just be challenging. So I'm really careful about what I say and how I say it. I really try really hard to make sure, like, I will never use the B word, BROKE, because I refuse to buy into that. My talents, my gifts, the promises of God, that my gifts will bring me before great my gifts will make provisions and bring me before great men. I refuse to accept anything less. Now, there are times when my circumstance does not equal the position and the promises of God. But yet I choose to always look for and believe God in everything because He never fails. People have failed. People lie. They manipulate. They use. They abuse. But God is not like that. So I will not buy into the ignorance and the things like that. I refuse to do so. I'm saying all of that to say this: be careful about your words. Words perform and they operate based on what you say and not what you mean. So you can say, I didn't mean it like that. Well, the words don't know that. Words come, you call a word forth, it's going to walk out. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, that's not what I meant. But that's what you said. Sometimes it's better to not say anything, to pray in silence and to believe rather than to speak something and then have to go back and correct that word or rebuke that word that you have spoken, that you have put into operation. Just think of words as if it was some soldiers. And when you call that infantry forward, and every soldier has his job, and this soldier's job is to do this and that, those words are going to perform based on what they have been trained to do, not based on what you meant to say. So if you say something out of line or not what you mean to say, now you can't call it back. That's the way I want you to think about your words. If you don't do anything else for yourself in 2026, be careful about the catchphrases that you attach yourself to. You know, it is what it is another one of those that I just will not give, because it may be one thing, but it could also be another. It's been your girl, Candid with Kim. It's been your girl, the Queen Bee. I'm still waiting on you to call me.